What's up everyone? Welcome to Fantasy Premier League with FPL Wizard. I hope you're all fine. I hope you had a great time off. I hope you enjoyed your New Year's and I hope you enjoyed this little break from FPL. We're back after we're back after after the break, but this is a prolonged or an elongated game week which is spread out over 2 weeks, and in between there's gonna be like those Carabao Cup semi-final games, and it's just gonna be drawn out over a long time. So welcome guys. We've got lots and lots to talk about today. There's been announcement of double game weeks which has then been deleted. So lots of stuff going on around FPL. So let's just get right down to it. So before I go ahead and kind of talk to you about what I'm gonna do this game week, which is obviously gonna be a tough decision anyway, just gonna have to kind of go through my last week's score. So finally, guys, after a long time, I had a decent game week and got 98 points. Was a crazy of a roller coaster of a captaincy. Salah missed a penalty, Dubravka saved it, and after that he scored 2 goals. He could have scored more. So it was a roller coaster of a game week. But having a 1,28,000 game week rank and having a really good jump from those lower 4 millions up to close to now 1 million, and just hope we can keep this momentum going. It's a good time to be building momentum, but also it is a difficult time in the season as to a lot of blanks coming up, a lot of fixture congestion coming up as well. So not talking too much about my own team, guys. I'm just gonna show you where I'm at right now with my team. Not gonna be talking about my transfers as of now. I'm gonna make my transfers with like 15 minutes to go, giving myself a little bit more time to think before I actually pull the trigger. But I haven't transferred out Son or Salah. Obviously the transfer which has to be made is is Salah to get the money, but the problem is some people who transferred Salah early got so much value tied up in him. It kind of makes it hard to sell him. Like 13.2 to get him back, but 12.9 to sell him is the issue. Otherwise, I've got 2 free transfers to go with it. So I don't have as many problems as many people in FPL this game week. People are taking hits left, right, and center because they transferred in Trent Alexander-Arnold early, or they transferred out Son for somebody like Bowen, or Salah for Bowen. So a lot of kind of injuries happening due to the FA Cup games and just fixture congestion in general over the Christmas period. So lots to talk about, guys, and I'm gonna go through the doubles and the blanks and all those permutations over the course of today's deadline stream. So it's gonna be an important one. So welcome everybody once again, and hey Todd, Johan, Zara. Also, guys, there's something to be discussed about the captaincy tonight, and who's gonna be the captain this game week, who's the best captaincy option as well. Saka, Palmer being the 2 obvious ones, along with some people have the captaincy on Watkins, some people thinking about Jota. Like a lot of captaincy spread is going to be seen this game week as well. So hey Testimony, welcome my friend. Todd says, I scored only 54 last week after using my wildcard. Man, that really was a wildcard, wasn't it, Todd? that's crazy. 54 last week would really hurt, Todd. I think it would have done a lot of damage to your overall rank, my friend. Feel so bad. Oh, you took out Son and Salah 1 week earlier than you had to. Yep. I totally get it. this is the sometimes this is the problem. I mean, even now, like some people are saying take out Salah, and we know he can even be back potentially by game week 24, if Egypt, exit the tournament early, AFCON they exit early. So, it's just hard to kind of transfer out these players anyway. Transferring them 1 week early and watching them score points is just hurts, my friend. Commiserations, my friend. I know how that hurts though, and especially watching the games after transferring them out is just even more hard. So guys, before we go ahead, guys, before I answer your questions and before you kind of start asking me questions, Dali says Alfie Doughty captain tonight. Good luck with that, my friend. I guess if there is a risk to be taken, I think this is the game week to take in. Hey Neil, welcome to the stream, my friend. So I just want to go through this spreadsheet kind of, guys. So because at least you'll know where I'm coming from when I'm at least talking about the blanks and the doubles. So this is a spreadsheet which was made by Lego Mane, and it is really helpful. And we'll also see that this spreadsheet, which was made by Ben Krillin, it is a little bit more detailed, and it runs all the way up to 38 game weeks. So that's the reason I'm currently using this one, because it is a little bit more simpler to kind of navigate at this moment in time. So this is the one which I'm talking about, guys. And if you see, for example, on like we're here right now, game week 21 deadline, right? And you see how drawn out this game week is going to be. Like there's only a few games this weekend, and all the other games are going to be played next weekend. Midweek, I'm in Liverpool, Fulham, they play the second leg of the Carabao Cup, and Chelsea plays against Middlesbrough. Obviously I think Chelsea is in a much better position to kind of go through as compared to Liverpool and Fulham game is really, really tight, I tell you, because it was it was 2-1. Liverpool were trailing initially, and then they came back and scored 2 goals. So it was good at the end, but I think it's going to be a tough second leg. Although Fulham are missing Iwobi as well, so let's see how it goes. And after that, there's this FA Cup, round 4, and any teams who draw their games, they'll have to replay immediately after game week 23. So I mean, it looks as if, for example, let us say Manchester City has got a good good fixture run, as in they've got good resting times. After the Tottenham game, they've got like 3-4 days. After the Burnley game, they've still got 4 days as well. But I mean, if they have to replay Tottenham, for example, if they draw the game at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, and then they have to replay it, and it becomes so congested with the Champions League thrown in, and it's just it'll be tough, to be honest with you guys. And we need to know which teams to target now, with Manchester City having a double game week here after in game week 25. I mean, they have this slot when Arsenal play in the Champions League, against Porto. So Manchester City will be playing Brentford here. So it was already announced, and but the problem is that they deleted their tweet. So I don't know what that means. Maybe they're gonna announce it after the deadline, or because Brentford announced it and FPL announced it, and then they took off their tweets. So I'm not sure what's going on there. So just need to pay attention, guys. All right, we need to kind of, for example, focus on Manchester City players, because they're having a double game week here in 25. Also, they don't blank in 26. It's I think these are the teams we need to focus on. For example, there are some other teams who are going to blank in double in 25. And if you see this, I think this gives you a lot of clarity on which teams can double. For example, Manchester, this is a matrix by Mikel Tokvam, and I took it from Twitter, so just giving him proper credits. I think maybe the name is not visible at the top, but it is by Mikkel Tokvam, so at the rate Mikkel Tokvam on Twitter. You know, guys, just so Manchester City double is confirmed. You know, Brentford, they're already 2. That means they've got 2 fixtures in game week 25. Luton has 1.75. That means they've got a probability to play 2 games. 1.75. That is very close to 2 games, and they have a fixture against Liverpool as well, 1.70. But the issues with the Luton and Liverpool double game weeks is that you know, they blank in game week 26, depending on obviously who wins the semi-finals, which is obviously going to impact this, and you know, but they are expected to blank here in game week 26. So like loading up on as well, Tottenham and Tottenham and Chelsea played against each other in game week 26. So based on their FA Cup results as well, you know, guys, I mean, they are expected to blank as well. So for example, looking at the Chelsea fixtures, for example, and double or the fixtures, you load up on the Chelsea players. If for example you get Cole Palmer, you get like Colville, or you get Gusto, and then they're blanking in 26, and as well they have a chance to blank in 29, you know. And Chelsea are obviously playing in they're gonna win their Carabao Cup game as well. So it's a lot of uncertainty. So you need to know which players to load on. For example, you're loading up on Tottenham players, for example, Richarlison, Pedro Porro, and then they're gonna blank in 26. So be careful which players you bring in, guys. This is going to be very important, and especially game week 29, it almost shows every team blanking, but the reason is because many teams are playing against each other. So I think it's going to be all right. I think that we're going to have 5 to 6 fixtures in game week 29, but we have to plan for it ahead of time. That's all I want to say here, you know. And like in the FA Cup, many teams have fixtures against each other, so hopefully 1 or 2 of these teams will be let off, and will have some good fixtures. So guys, basically Manchester City are the team to kind of focus on. Obviously it's difficult to know which players to bring in, because they've got so much rotation going on and stuff, but at least we can we can kind of just keep that in mind when making our transfers. So Liverpool double in 25 but blank in 26. So need to kind of understand how to navigate it properly, guys. Right, so I'm gonna go back to the team. I'm gonna answer your questions. There you go. Jackson says Happy New Year to you and your family. Thank you so much, my friend. I'll tell you the transfer plan really quickly. Jackson, just give me a second. Let me answer the questions and we'll discuss. Hey, Sir Crocodile, welcome, my friend. Abhijit says, hey, was any idea on transfers? I have Semikas, Salah, Wong, and Son to take out. Got 2 free transfers. Abhijit, I think you need to definitely kind of have to take out Son and Wong. I think that's the easiest ones. Salah, obviously, if you don't have a lot of value attached to him. I mean, many people want to keep Salah because they have a lot of value attached with Salah. Otherwise, I think you should just take him out for somebody like Foden, Cole Palmer, Saka. These are the ones which you really want to have, Himanshu says, hello Wiz, how are you doing? I'm fine, Himanshu, thank you so much. What is the probable wildcard calendar? Well, Himanshu, the probable wildcard calendar goes as in, like 29 is going to be a big blank game week, or the biggest blank game week of the season in that sense. But what you can do is, what many people can do is, or plan to do is dead end their team in 29. Don't use their free hit in 29, but dead end their team in 29. And then wildcard after that. The problem with wildcarding in game week 30 is that Arsenal and City, they play against each other. So ideally you want to wildcard after that game and not in that game week, because it just kind of makes it difficult. But if you don't want to wildcard in game week 30 and you want to save your wildcard for 31, then potentially you'll have to kind of use your free hit in game week 29, or you're gonna have to make do with whatever team you have in game week 30. So I mean, none of these situations is ideal, but I think the best game week to wildcard is game week 31, when Arsenal and City have a fixture swing, and the easier fixtures start for Arsenal as well as City, and you want to load up on their players potentially for a title race, if Arsenal can stay in the title race, that is. CAV says, hi Wiz, happy with my team but can do cash for a Stupinan for free or roll. I have 2 free transfers for Haaland back next week. I would transfer out cash for a Stupinan, CAV. I think that's a no-brainer, bro. Neil says, scored 107 points last game week. Rank is 411k. 2 free transfers. Thinking Senesi for Brighton defense and Son to Richarlison, I guess, right? Ben, Salah, Trent and Ake. I'm triple up on City already. I think that's fine. Congratulations on the great game week, Neil. And the transfers, I mean, I'm not sure about Senesi. I mean, for Brighton, I don't understand, but Son to Richarlison is fine. You should think your second transfer again, I guess. The double has been announced. Yes, it has been announced. Yep. Bowen and Trent news. Faz, I think Trent, I mean, again, we don't have a conclusive news, but I think Trent is going to be definitely going to be out. At least for this game week. Next game week, they'll let us know, but I think he's going to be out for the foreseeable future. It's a muscular injury, so I don't think he's going to be back anytime soon. He got injured in the game against Fulham. Bowen, I think it's more ambiguous. So if you have Bowen, start him. If you don't have him, don't bring him in. That is where we're at with Jared Bowen. Who would you pick as a captain? Foden, Bernardo Silva, Alvarez, Odegaard or Palmer? Out of them, I'll pick Palmer, definitely, Todd. Palmer would be my first choice and Odegaard would be my second. Zara says, scored 90 points last week. Mistake was getting Bernardo Silva last week over for some Manchester City cover. I don't think it's a mistake, Zara. I think it's a great game week score to have. And Bernardo Silva, I think, is going to get a lot of minutes over the coming weeks. So I don't think it's a mistake. Yes, I already told you when you got him last week that, you know, the ceiling of Bernardo Silva is not that high. But otherwise, I think he's a good asset to have. And my transfers this week are obviously, I'm going to have to move on one out of Son and Salah. Potentially, see, if I move on Son, I'll just do one transfer. But if I move on Salah, then I'll possibly make 2 transfers. You know, that is what I can tell you. Because I think Charlie Taylor is out, Lascelles is out, and, you know, I will have no bench if I just make one transfer. Zara says, with replacements for Wong, should I use my second free transfer to replace Bernardo Silva? Zara, I don't think you need to use your second free transfer to replace Bernardo. I think Bernardo's perfectly fine. For replacing Hee-chan Wong, I think you can think about Cole Palmer. If you have him already, then you can possibly consider Foden. But I'm not sure if you have that much money in the bank, obviously. But Foden, Richarlison you can consider as well if you want somebody with, less price, I guess. Faz says, Salah to Jota, already have Palmer, Saka, Bowen and Foden. I think Salah to Jota could be a great differential kind of a pick. I think when Salah gone, Jota, I think he'll take up the mantle of the, of Liverpool's attacks, and he has been looking threatening the past few weeks. I think Salah to Jota is a great differential move, as I would really like that. Obviously, you have to know that it is a punt, Obviously, Jota is not as effective as Salah, but then Liverpool have to score out of somewhere, and Jota is one of their best avenues with Trent and Salah gone. TAV says, thanks, plan was Salah to Bowen, but injury changed things. Obviously, Bowen's injuries came right at the wrong time, if we can say that. Todd says, Neil Pearson, holy crap, you got almost twice as points as me. It was just an unlucky week, Todd. I mean, saving your wild card and, having that like go against you just because you wild carded. I mean, that's just... These are some things in FPL which sometimes kind of, when you plan too much, sometimes things just seem to go wrong for some reason. I don't know, but I think saving your wildcard was not a bad idea, but sometimes when you're forced into transfers, I guess that is or you make early transfers, I guess that does kind of lend you to have this kind of a game week. But I hope you bounce back, bro. I really do hope you bounce back. I wish you bounce back as well. I hope the captaincy can help this week. And Odegaard as well. Mark Sikito says, original plan was to switch Alvarez to Haaland, but looks like he's out. Thoughts on KDB for Bowen or going Darwin over Archer and deal with Haaland later? Sikito, to be honest with you, my friend, I think Haaland is gonna be back in 23, if not in 22. I don't think that you should be bringing in KDB because I'm not sure if he's, like Pep says, he's ready to start against Newcastle, but will he start against Newcastle? I am not so sure. I don't think so personally. I think he'll still be on the bench, even though Pep says that he's ready to start. I don't think he's going to start. I think you can play Archer, and if you have Bowen, just keep him in the team. You know, I don't think it's a long-term injury for Bowen. Who will you trade for Son, Salah? I want to get in Foden, Ian. The reason why I want to get in Foden is pretty simple, because City's got a double game week in 25. Foden is playing really well. He scored like a fantastic goal in the FA Cup, and even in the Premier League he's been playing well. You know, KDB I think is going to be brought in slowly. I think Foden's game time would not be an issue. At least that's what I want to think, or I want to happen. So I want to kind of take I want to take out Son or Salah for Foden. Not for this game week, because against Newcastle I don't think that's the best option for this week. I guess this week I could bring in Pascal Gross or somebody else, for that matter. But you know, the issue is, if I bring in like if I kind of bring in Foden for Son, then I don't have enough money to bring in Haaland straight away next week. So the second transfer which I'm planning will not materialize is the issue. I'll show you. Actually, I'll just take you to the transfers page and I'll show you what I mean. I think I'm talking. It's hard to understand. Right. So I'm gonna show you here. So basically, if I kind of take out Son and I bring in Foden, right? I've got 6.9 in the bank, which leaves me 0.1 million short for Haaland anyway, right? So I won't be able to get Haaland. If I make another transfer, you know, I won't be able to get Haaland if I want to get an expensive player than the one I own. So I won't be able to get Haaland in one transfer next week anyway, which means I'll have to take a hit to bring in Haaland, right? In case, so what the second transfer which I really want to do is I want to bring in Stupinan for Lascelles, right? So this is the transfer which I want to make. But if I make it for Son, the issue is I cannot get Haaland with one transfer, which means I'm gonna have to take a hit. Now if I keep Son, because I own him and it is 9.8 million anyway, so if he falls 1 million in price, I won't have a price drop for him. You know, what I can do is, if I sell Salah for Foden, right, I'll have enough money to bring in Haaland with one transfer, and I can still keep Son, right? If I need to, right? That's absolutely fine. So in this sense, I'll have a bench as well, you know, and I'll be more secure in the sense that you know, I'll have a bench option. At least one player, because Taylor is not going to play and Son's not going to play, but you know, I'll still have you know, a bench option, kind of, you can say that. Although it'll give me a headache as to who to bench, but I'll still have a bench option, right? Because this is a long drawn out game week. So this is one option, right? If I don't want to bring in a Stupinan, I just want to keep Lascelles, I can just bring in Foden in place of Son, and this is one transfer. If I want to make one transfer, I think this is going to be it. And if I have to make two, I guess it can be for Salah. Then it gives me the option to get Haaland in one transfer next week. So these are the options. I'm just thinking at the back of my mind what I really want to do. Salah is like 13.2 is the issue, you know. That's the whole problem. I mean, yes, I've been thinking about Pascal Gross as well. You can get Pascal Gross, that is not an issue. I mean, if I get, see, the best move for me would be to get Pascal Gross here, right? And that way I'll have enough money to still bring in a Stupinan, you know, and I get to keep Salah as well, you know. That's also something I could do, but I really want Foden in my team is the issue. Right, let's go and answer your questions now. So, who will you trade for? I already answered that. Cash to Stupinan for a -4. I think that's not a bad move to make, Sir Crocodile. Especially with this week, so many people taking hits. I think it can be covered. I'm not even sure if Cash starts against Everton. That's the problem. Who to bench for Stupinan then? Have Poro, Walker, Gabriel, Colville. That's the issue. Don't bring in Stupinan then. You know, I could bench him for Archer. Definitely could bench him for Archer. You know, I would play Stupinan and bench Archer if that's the case. Otherwise, all the other players you have, I think they've got good fixtures. Probably Kyle Walker is the one you can bench and play Stupinan as well, or play Baldock. Baldock, I don't really like Sheffield United as a defense right now, my friend. It's hard to kind of advocate Sheffield United anyway in any fixture. I think West Ham, although West Ham are plagued by injuries, I think they'll still have enough for Sheffield United. You know, it's touch and go. Long term, I think Stupinan will serve you well, so I guess you can go with this Stupinan. Todd says Jota or Diaz. I would go with Jota, Abhijit. Todd says that's FPL. I'm okay with my choices. Absolutely, Todd. You have to accept and move on, my friend. That's totally fantastic. It's hard to take, but I'm happy that you take it in your stride and move on, my friend. Where's you're going with the Saka captain? I've been thinking, CAV. There's no reason. No basic reason to go one over the other, except for the fact that Palmer has one thing going for him, in that he's going to play a Fulham side which has been in a grueling battle against Liverpool midweek. They play against Liverpool in the Carabao Cup semi-final, and then they play against Chelsea on Saturday. It's an early kickoff as well, so that thing goes for Palmer, definitely does. But the thing is, it's the same with Palmer, because they play midweek against Middlesbrough, but they don't need to work that hard because they're in a comfortable position. So it's touch and go with Palmer, to be honest with you, But when you have an extra game midweek, you just need to be, because it's a long drawn out game week, and you don't want to see Palmer get injured, or I don't know, it just feels a little bit. What am I saying? So basically, Palmer or Saka, I think there's nothing between them. The only thing about Fulham is that they played a lot of games. So did Chelsea. Palmer played against Middlesbrough as well, right? So that is the only thing which you can think. But I think he can play. The thing going for Saka is he's going to have lots of time off because he doesn't play right now. He plays the next week, so Arsenal are off to training in Dubai, right? And Saka has been seen relaxing. So that is the only reason I kind of want to captain Saka, I guess, over Palmer. There's nothing much to choose between their numbers. If you see, their numbers are perfectly similar. Let me just show you. Hang on. If you see the XG 1.08, 1.39, 0.25, right? Look at Saka. 1.09, 1.15, 0.94, 1.01. Granted, Saka hasn't been returning FPL points, but he has been doing well in the games, right? So there is a difference there. Palmer has been delivering. He's been scoring the goals. Saka has been producing good numbers statistically, but hasn't been converting them into FPL points. Hey FPL Jugs, I hope you're doing well, my friend. Thoughts on Pascal Gross? I think he's perfectly fine. Start Taylor or Gordon Taylor? I don't think he's going to play. I think you can start Gordon. Yesa says, hi, I've got 2 free transfers for this game week. Have Bowen, Salah and Son. Was thinking of getting KDB for Son and rolling the other transfer. Yesa, I don't think KDB is going to start against Newcastle. I think if you want to get KDB, you should possibly wait till game week 22, bro. Hey Nehal, welcome to the stream, my friend. Son, Salah, Cash to Foden, Hinchelwood, Garnacho, or Stupinan for a -4 have to take a hit to set up for Game Week 25 doubles. I think Game Week 25 doubles are pretty far away, Nehal. I think there is enough time to plan for the doubles. But yes, I think those transfers make sense to me. I think they look pretty good. I'd possibly pick Garnacho over Hinchelwood. I think with Manchester United's fixtures becoming better and Manchester United as a team, they're playing better. I think Garnacho can be a better option as well. Wiz, what will make Chelsea not blank? Is it the FA Cup game or the Carabao game? I don't think Chelsea is going to lose to Middlesbrough. It's a Carabao Cup game, I don't think. I think Chelsea is going to beat Middlesbrough easy now. So I think they're definitely going to blank, bro. I don't see it as a question. Between Liverpool and Fulham, I think it's much closer, and but between Chelsea and Middlesbrough, I think it's nothing left in that game anyway. Chelsea just absolutely hammered them. Captaining a Chelsea player this season feels wrong, but I prefer Palmer and Watkins both to Saka. I know the only thing which puts me off Saka is that he hasn't been delivering. Look at the numbers. It's similar between Palmer and Saka, but the issue is Palmer's been finishing his chances and Saka's just, been unlucky, I guess. I don't know. He's been unlucky. When are you making your changes? I make my changes mostly 15 minutes before the deadline, bro. Yesa says, thanks mate. Any transfer you'll suggest? I'd suggest going for Foden, my friend. If you want a Manchester City player, I think it's better if you can go with Foden. If you want to get KDB, then possibly you can think about going with Pascal Gross. There are not many options. Saka, obviously, you can go with if you don't have him. And there are not many options. All the players which we really want to get are injured. Jared Bowen's injured. Salah's out. Son's out. Richarlison you can think about again. Not the best option this week because they play against United away. Testimony says Salah, Son, and Lascelles. Yeah, to Foden, Garnacho, and Stupinan. Testimony. I mean, I like those transfers a lot, but my question would be, why do you want to go with Garnacho? I mean, you have all the options open to you, so why Garnacho is the question, my friend. You have to you can reconsider. I mean, unless you're saving money for Haaland, then I think it's a perfect ploy, but otherwise, why Garnacho? It's just a question. Jirit says, might Alex Moreno be going under the radar? I mean, Alex Moreno might be going under the radar, my friend, but the issue is Dean's gonna be back pretty soon, and I think Unai Emery was asked about Dean. I think he's not too far away, my friend. What makes you think Taylor won't start against Luton? Thank you so much for the super chat, Jugs. I really appreciate it, my friend. And the question is, what makes you think Taylor won't start against Luton? I'm aware of the company comment. Well, I'm not sure. I mean, I would love it if Taylor starts. I'd actually play him if he starts. That's the thing. But it's just company said I should not be speaking about the injuries. Or the head of media relations have told me not to speak about the injuries. He's got a chronic shoulder problem, Miss Taylor. So there hasn't been any news. It's hard to predict whether he's going to start or not. That's all I can say about that, Jugs. I mean, we don't know whether he's going to start or not, but he's got a chronic shoulder problem. Company said it was chronic and not acute. Make of that what you will. Make of that what you will. But he said it is acute and not. It is chronic and not acute. Gordon or Gross? Himanshu, I think if you look at Gordon, his fixtures are not the best, at least here. I mean, even Nottingham Forest away is not the best, but City home, Aston Villa away, so it's the near-far effect. But short-term, I think Gross is the better option. If you're thinking to keep long-term, then obviously Gordon has to be considered. Although Newcastle's form has been dipping. So that is something to consider as well. So short-term, definitely, I think Gross is a better option. Long-term, it is There's no there's no options or no comparison between Gordon and Gross. Uh, Douglas, Luiz, or Odegaard. Uh, we really can't compare them. Cinema crazy. I mean, there's just too much difference in value. I guess it's hard to kind of compare them directly if you know what I mean. I mean, if you ask me, I think Odegaard then is the better option, generally speaking, right? It's hard to say. It's hard to compare them like that. I mean, although I would have to say that, I mean, Douglas Luiz is not a bad option because he's he's on penalties for Aston Villa, and he has taken a few penalties successfully this season. So in that sense, I guess value for money would be Douglas Luiz. The better option would be Odegaard, I guess. Hard to compare them. I don't know how we can compare these two players. Douglas Luiz value for money. Odegaard's the better pick. Taylor is first on my bench. I guess that's the best we can do with Taylor, Jugs. I mean, one game week when I really need Taylor to play, he's injured. That's all you need to know about Charlie Taylor. Whenever you need him, he's never available, and when you don't need him, he'll stay on your bench and score goals and keep clean sheets. That's all you need to know about Charlie Taylor. That's all he does. So, some things will never change. Right, so before I make my transfers, let me just take you to, obviously, not Mikkel Talk's slide, but let me take you to Twitter and really quickly, not spending too much time today, take you through the predictions. So this is the Manchester City prediction. Actually, I'll just take you to the predictions straight away, so as to not spend too much time. So this is the Aston Villa prediction, guys. Cash is 29% for everybody who's interested. 29% of the fans think Cash is going to start, and 29% of the fans think that Diaby is going to start. All the others, the usual suspects, I think they're fine. Jacob Ramsey is an interesting one. Jacob Ramsey, people think that he's going to start the fans. In Manchester City, guys, Ruben Dias, Guardiola, Walker, and Ake. Akanji, 29%. Other than that, Kovacic and Doku are primed to start, whereas all of you looking at KDB, 14% of the City fans seem to think, the dedicated City fans seem to think that he's going to start, which is not much. So I would not be going for KDB, guys. With Spurs, I think it's fairly, fixed which, who's going to start. Timo Werner's 92% to start. Obviously, Skip 86%. Bentancur is back. Johnson, Richarlison, Kulusevski. The only issue is, Dragusin, Emerson Royal, or Romero. Like that. This is the whole doubt. Otherwise, everybody's clear who's going to start. I mean, Timo Werner is an interesting signing for Spurs. Definitely is. Arsenal, I think everybody knows who's going to start. I think the only doubt is, I guess, the left back position. I think Zinchenko is going to start there. I think there's no other doubts. I'm just going quickly, guys. I'm not reading the entire teams. With Liverpool, I think you already know the issue lies between Cody Gakpo, Jota, Diaz. Who's going to start in which position. Elliott, Szoboszlai got injured. I think he pulled his hamstring. I'm not sure why 53% of the fans seem to think he's going to start. But he did his hamstring. I think so let's see what happens. Elliott 35, Szoboszlai 53, Jota 69%, Gakpo 28%, Gravenberch 15%. Lots of uncertainties in this one position for Liverpool. Otherwise, the rest of the positions are fairly certain. I mean, Bradley 97% is an interesting one, guys, with Trent Alexander out injured. Shimikash out injured as well. So Gomez is going to probably play on left back, and Bradley is going to play at right back for Liverpool is an interesting one. Nihal says Szoboszlai is not starting, will be Elliot Curtis in the 2-8s. I thought so. I don't know why the Liverpool fans voted 53% for Szoboszlai. I think he's out injured with the hamstring. So thanks for the update, Nihal. So Gusto 100% for Chelsea. Colville. By the way, guys, Chilwell is back in the Chelsea on the Chelsea bench. I guess he's gonna be on the bench, or he's in the squad. So we need to keep an eye on this one, especially for those who own Colville. I think Chilwell coming back can be a problem. So keep an eye on this one. He's not gonna play. He's not gonna be on the bench, but he's gonna be in the squad for this game. All the others you already know. Broya is an interesting one, by the way, guys. I think Jackson's gonna be benched after the great performance in midweek in the Carabao Cup. I think Broya is primed to start this one. Palmer, obviously. For anybody who's looking to captain him, 100% for Palmer. Quickly. I guess that's it with the predictions. I guess Brighton, we already know, guys. I think there's nothing much. The only, I think, doubt is between Ferguson and Welbeck. I think Ferguson still away, not fully fit, so I guess Welbeck is going to start. Garnacho, anybody was looking at Garnacho, 100%, guys. The doubt is between, I guess, Eriksen or McTominay. That's it. And Luke Shaw, I'm not sure if he's still fit enough. I don't know why the fans are voting for him. Right, guys, don't want to spend too much time here today, so let's get back into the swing of things and let me answer your questions before I make my transfers. Taylor is first on my bench. I read that. Did Son to Foden and Cash to Stupinal will reassess Salah's situation next game week? I mean, Nihal, the only thing about the Salah situation is, that is exactly the reason why I don't want to make the Salah transfer. I mean, if they lose early in the AFCON, he's going to come back as early as game week 23. Salah can be back. So this is the reason I don't want to sell Salah, because it'll impact my team value. But if I don't sell Salah, then I don't have enough money to get Haaland back in one transfer next week, which means I'll have to take a hit. So it's either or. It's tough, but some situations demand that we take prudent decisions, I guess. Gomez on right back, Bradley on left back. Well, against Arsenal, when I was watching the game, I think Bradley was playing right back in place of Trent, and he did really well against Martinelli, I have to say. Martinelli was roasting Trent Alexander-Arnold, but when he went into midfield and Bradley came on at right back, he played really well against Martinelli. Thomas Bennett says, hey Wes, do you reckon Richarlison will start as a striker? I don't think so, Thomas. I think if Werner has come in for Tottenham, I think Werner is going to start. Werner is going to start as a striker. I think Richarlison's going to start, on either of the wing. I think he's going to play in place of Son, to be honest with you, on the left wing. I think right wing is with Brennan Johnson now. Not ideal, I guess. I'm not sure how they're going to set up. Maybe they can set up with the two, because Kulusevski is going to play as well on the right wing. So Brennan can move on the left side as well. So hard to predict how they're going to set up, to be honest. My team value fell from 105 to 104 with Son and price changes. Man, that hurts. But I guess 104 is still a great team value to have. Bradley's a natural right back. Yeah, I agree with that. I saw him play. I was impressed the way he played against Martinelli. Right, guys, I think it's time to make your transfers, time to set your teams. Nihal is absolutely right. 15 minutes to go to the deadline, so I don't think we need to kind of extend it much more. I don't think there's any more news to be had, That's shall I start Martinez or Flecken? This is a tough one. I don't think Aston Villa away from home haven't been really good is the issue, my friend. I mean, Goodison away is not the best fixture, but again, Brentford playing against Nottingham Forest with a depleted defense. They don't have a good defense, Brentford. Tough one. I guess you can take a chance with Martinez, I guess, my friend. Everton have been bad these past 3 game weeks, but it's difficult. I'd just go with Martinez. Just start the best one, I guess. Aaron says, Wiz, I did Foden and Garnacho in for Son and Salah. Should I start Walker or get a Stupinan as a man? I think you should start Walker. I don't think you need to do a -4 for Stupinan, my friend. I think starting Walker is fine. don't let FOMO get the better of you. I think you can do a Stupinan next week as well. You know, it's a tough one. You know, like suggesting hits is a tough one always for me. I can just say that much. It's heart versus. For me, it's a question of heart versus, head. It's absolutely heart versus head. I don't want to sell Salah. I just want to see if they, get kind of, you know what I mean, right? If they, like, if Salah comes back early, I don't want to lose value on Salah as well. This is exactly the thing I've been kind of wondering, over and over again. Still, I can't get the answer. Shall I start Gehi or Burn? Burn? No, I guess they both have got tough fixtures. Gassemi, I mean, Gehi plays against Arsenal. Burn plays against City, I guess. Gehi, I think Gehi you can start because I think he's got more threat on set pieces. It's a case of selecting not the better of the two, I guess. Who's less bad out of the two, I guess. We're selecting that one. So yeah, let's see. Son out for Foden or Gross. Gross makes Haaland on a free next week easy, but Foden I prefer and has double soon. I would go with Foden, my friend. Even if we're not even sure if Haaland's going to be back next week. Remember that. If I do Hechan to Foden, I need to do one more transfer to get Haaland back unless take Watkins or Solanke out. Dilemma. Well, Zara, you can take Solanke out for Haaland. I don't think that's a problem. Jackson says, I'm waiting for your transfer. Right, bro. Right. I'm going to make my transfer. I am going to make my transfer, bro. Let's talk about captaincy options. I've already talked about captaincy options. Saka and Palmer are my options. If outside option is Watkins, if you want to go there. But I like Saka more than... I don't know. It's tough, I guess. Guys, I'm gonna have to make my transfer before I answer any more questions. I don't want to, overcomplicate this for myself. So it has to be between Foden and obviously Richarlison. Those were the two transfers that I actually planned. All this while, I guess it has to be Foden. I think it's better for my team because I hope you can see this, right? Yeah, because I want Foden for the double game week and I hope he plays. KDB, I'm not so sure he's gonna come in. So, right. So I made my transfer, guys, with a heavy heart, I guess. It had to be done. Yeah, I guess. You can put Taylor first on the bench. It won't make a difference. Actually, you know what? Salah needs to be first on my bench anyway. Whether he plays or not, it won't make a difference. Captain is Saka. Vice captain is Palmer. I captain Saka because I feel that he's due a performance while Palmer has had his performance. And they play extra games. He played against Middlesbrough, and then they still have another round against Middlesbrough away from home. They have to travel. Saka's gonna be fresh from Dubai, so good game against Crystal Palace. Let's see what happens. Crystal Palace is never an easy game for Arsenal, but I'm hoping they turn the corner. They've given me so much pain in this new year, I can't tell you guys. You know, it was my birthday on the 1st of January, and imagine Arsenal losing right on 31st December, right at the eve of my birthday, man. It's just Arsenal always finds new ways to disappoint me, guys. Just always the same. Always the same. Or anyways, gotta make my transfers. I'm not here to sulk. So shall I sell Zinchenko for a -4? I have Gehi, Saliba. You've got Gehi, Saliba, Burn, Trent, and Zinchenko. So I guess Gehi's gonna play, Saliba's gonna play, Burn's gonna play. I think you can play Zinchenko. I think Zinchenko's gonna play against Crystal Palace, bro. I think you can play Zinchenko. Play Saliba, Zinchenko, and Gehi, I guess. See, the issue is -4. That's the only problem. Otherwise, I would suggest you to sell Zinchenko for sure. The issue is -4. If you're don't have a problem with -4, then you can sell him. But I think Zinchenko, if he starts, he has a good chance of a clean sheet as well. So it's touch and go, my friend. It's touch and go. I've taken the decision. I have to stick with it now. See, guys, don't think that I don't know that I can make a transfer, as in I can get Gehi. I know I can do all that stuff as well. But you have to remember, I'm the kind of FPL player who always likes information, values information more than making hasty decisions. So next week we're gonna know about Haaland. For example, if Pep says, right, Haaland is not ready to play in Game Week 22, why would I kind of transfer in Salah, and I can get Estupinan as well next week, Then I'll have more options to play around with my team, rather than just forcing my hand. I want more options to to play the game. I'd never want to be kind of cornered or forced into my decisions, is a better way to say. Hope Archer does something. Well, Archer. He never performs when you want him to, and when he's on your bench, then he'll probably end up scoring a 12-pointer or a 9-pointer. That's always the same. For example, I needed Charlie Taylor this game week. He ends up having a chronic, shoulder injury or whatnot. It's just always the same with these guys. They'll never help. I wish Archer would do well, obviously, but against West Ham it is tough, and West Ham are a tough nut to crack anyways. Watkins or Foden for captain? I don't have Saka and Palmer. I think out of these two I would captain Watkins, possibly. I think Foden's got a little bit tougher fixture. None of them are ideal, but I don't know why you don't have Saka and Palmer, by the way, Fadzili. I think they're very desirable players, especially Palmer. I think you should have him. I think his ownership is pretty much skyrocketed. Look at that, 35%. He's like second highest owned. Like, why don't you own Palmer, bro? It's gonna hurt your rank so much if you if he performs well. Zara says, is there a possibility for Solanke to have a double game week in Game Week 27 or 28? Will be difficult to let him go with a double game week coming up. You'll see, Bournemouth have to have a double game week. You're right about that, Zara. But the double game week which they're supposed to have doesn't come in game week. Like, see here, Bournemouth. The most likelihood that they'll have a double game week, see, 1.05. So 5% chance in Game Week 25, 10% chance in Game Week 26, 14% chance in Game Week 27, and 14% in 28. It is very, very hard to say whether they're going to have a double game week or not. They will have a double game week at some point, but whether it is going to be because they're going to have a double game week with Luton, and Luton already has one game with Liverpool to be rearranged. So I think it's going to be very hard to fit two Luton games, two Luton double game weeks between 25 and 29. So maybe that double game week between Bournemouth and Luton has to be pushed forward. It all depends on whether Liverpool can beat Fulham. You know, if Fulham wins, Liverpool are out. Then Liverpool don't blank. Then it's all fine, I guess. Then they can easily fit the double game week wherever they want to fit it. But if Liverpool blank in 26, then Luton will have like an issue, because they'll have a double game week to kind of fit in as well. Triple game week. Luton will have two blank game weeks to fit in. I hope you understand. I hope it's not too complex. I've been studying all this stuff for 2 weeks now. It's still tough. Where was I? Yeah. Is there a yeah, I'll answer that. Sir Crocodile says, well, first of all, hope Archer starts as well before he does something. Yeah, that is true, Sir Crocodile. He will start. Why wouldn't he start, bro? Milo Tap says, we love you, Wiz. Good luck, my friend. Thank you so much, my friend. Thank you so much for being on the stream and for your support as well. Zara says, thank you, Wiz. You're welcome, Zara. I've been studying all these matrices around double game weeks, blank game weeks, permutations, combinations, to the point that I actually confused myself talking about the Palmer captaincy on stream. That's how much I've been studying. Sometimes it is the amount of information we have to process in the short amount of time, it just gets overwhelming, I guess. But we can sort it out. We've got 2 long weeks to go, and there's not another deadline for 2 weeks, because this game week is spread out over such a long time. By the way, guys, all of you who are on the stream, and we've got over 20 people watching, please lock your teams. We've got only 1.5 minutes to go for the deadline. So please, if you are having last minute dilemmas, whichever way you want to go, stick or twist, just make your transfers, lock your teams, and set your captaincy. Be it Saka, be it Palmer, or anybody else, just set your teams, guys. Nobody should miss the deadline here. That is the basic purpose of doing this deadline streams. Sometimes I've seen people come to these streams and say, we didn't know it was the deadline, but when we saw your stream, we realized it was the deadline. So I hope nobody misses the deadline today as well. Should I transfer out Gusto? I don't think so, Thakif. Why would you want to transfer out Gusto? Keep him, bro. I think he's gonna play against Fulham. Reece James is out for the long haul anyway. And Gusto's been playing well. Don't transfer him out, bro. No. 55 seconds to go. Thakif, lock your team, bro. Need to lock your team. No more questions, guys. Please lock your teams. So, it was a fairly comfortable deadline stream. I did not expect it to be. I thought there was going to be a lot of questions around the doubles, the blanks, the Salahs, the Sons. But I guess the problem for everybody was the players which we wanted to bring in were themselves injured. For example, Jared Bowen would have been such a popular transfer this week because of his game against Sheffield United, but because of his injury, we could not bring him in anyway. Along with that, the same thing happened. In terms of Haaland being out and not being fit for game week 21. There were no obvious transfers to make, except maybe in defense, which was Estupinan. So anybody who wanted a defender this week, I think it was the easiest transfer to Estupinan. Other than that, I think there were no obvious transfers to make. Obviously the Salah and Son absentees, they forced our hands a little bit. FPL Jug says team locked with rolling this game week. Palmer captain, Saka vice captain. Cheers, man. I think you've got a good team if you can roll your transfer. People have been hits have been flying around like crazy. I've seen -8s, -12s. I've seen people transfer out. Make early transfers from Salah to Bowen. And I don't know, from Son to Bowen. People bringing in Trent Alexander-Arnold early, and then and then this happens. It's just unfortunate. That's all I can say. Team locked, says Neil. Alvarez, Darwin, Watkins, Foden, Saka, Palmer, Odegaard, Poro, Ake, Saliba, Ariola, one free transfer, Son to Saka. Rolling the other, bench, Salah, Trent and Senesi. Neil, I think that's a refreshing way to write your team. I've always seen people write teams with defense and keepers first. I guess that's nice. The team looks fantastic, bro, and good luck with the Palmer captaincy. Zara says locked. Nehal says played Trent and kept Archer on the bench. No hits. Well, I love that. I think I think the Trent picture is going to be more clear as well. And I don't think the hit needed to be taken as well, Nihil. I think taking no hits this week can help as well, because so many people have taken hits, especially ones who were unfortunate. So Crocodile says, I've done -4. Most likely we'll do a -4 next week. So Crocodile, doing -4s for the right reasons is never wrong, There's never a wrong time to do the right thing, and never a right time to do the wrong thing. So I mean, you do the right things at the right time, it's absolutely fine. If you needed to take a -4, I guess it had to be done. Sometimes you have to do it. But I can tell you something, guys. I mean, I remember the season 18-19 season when I had this top 500 rank. The hits were minimal, guys. And I can tell you, I did not refrain from taking the hits either. When I knew the hit had to be taken, I took the hit. So it was never a wrong time to do the right thing. So it's always has to be like that, right? I hope you understand what I was trying to say. Ariola, Estupinan, Poro. So Ariola's obviously, I think, fine. Estupinan, I'd love to have Estupinan, I'll tell you. I'm envious of that. Estupinan, Poro, Gabriel, Trent, Foden, Palmer, Saka, Charleston. That's a perfect team, Nihil. I mean, Darwin is icing on the cake. Watching him is very frustrating as an owner. Last week he could have had a hat trick, and it's just watching him miss chance after chance after chance. It's just stuff of nightmares, to be honest with you. Reminds me of watching Timo Werner in my team, I guess. Players of that ilk who just miss the easiest of chances, who get into good positions but miss chances. But I think Darwin's gonna come good for Liverpool. It's not like he's not playing well. He is playing well. Fadzali says, after hours and hours of research, I fumbled and no Palmer. It is what it is. Well, Fadzali, it's just the problem is decision making. Or in the end, all the research culminates into one transfer decision. That is the truth of FPL. You can research for 45 hours. In the end, it culminates into a single transfer decision, which is not a lot to have in your hands, is it? I mean, at the most, you'll have 2 transfers and a captaincy decision to make. I guess the easiest way to deal with these problems is to give yourself less decisions to make in FPL. So if you plan ahead for your team early, you'll have less decisions to make for your FPL team. The more comfortable you will be. For example, I got Foden against Newcastle away, which is not the best transfer, but I guess long term it's going to help me because he's got good upcoming fixtures and a double in 25, and he doesn't blank in 26 either. So with that in mind, I mean, if you plan for the future, I guess it'll make life easier for you. That's all I think. If you remember my videos, I used to give examples of like US President Obama. He always wore the same color ties to his office. People asked him, like, why are you always wearing the same colored ties or same colored shirts? He said that because it's just one less decision that I have to make, and I've got the same power to make decisions, the same energy to make decisions, but I want that energy to go into something constructive, not into choosing the color of my ties and my shirts every day. So always give yourselves less to do, my friend. Not just in FPL, but also in life. Try to use your decision making part of your brain for something which is productive. So yeah, people who spend hours thinking about which shoes they want to wear maybe actually just never actually walk. They just spend their time choosing which shoes to wear. Uh, yeah. So FPL Jack says I'm rolling, but my bench could kill me with Taylor, Trent, and Salah warming in. It's all fine, man. I don't have anything on my bench either. Taylor's not gonna play anyway, so. Abhishek says, hello bro. Hey Abhishek, I hope you're doing well. I hope you locked your team before the deadline was over. So guys, I guess since it is a long drawn out game week, I think it doesn't, I think we're not going to be, it won't be right to do predictions anyway because it's a long drawn out game week. So I guess, it's going to end the stream after a while. Abhishek says it's Taylor starting. Abhishek, I don't know. There's no way to tell right now. I think the lineups are not out yet. Still, 20 minutes, 25 minutes to go before the deadline, before the lineups are actually out. Let me see if I can get some lineups for you on Twitter if anybody has shared them, for example. By the way, guys, I just have to remind you, the next deadline is after 18 days. 18 days. Can you believe that? Insane, right? I feel like I'm doing a deadline stream after a very long time, and the next deadline is after 18 days, man. I mean, feels like a holiday after the holiday. I don't know what, how are we gonna survive here? No, by the way, we don't have any news on the Burnley lineups yet. I don't think it's from the company's press conference, although it was not much revealing, but I don't think he's gonna start Taylor. Let's see what happens, bro. So have you started him? Let me show you the tweet from which I actually read 18 days to go for the deadline. It was a tweet by, I think, all about FPL. Oops, sorry, guys. Just a second. Where did I read it? Everybody's posting their teams. No, I can't find it. No, I can't find the tweet. Right. It's all the same. Alvarez captain? What? No, it's just kidding. It was 4 hours before. Right, guys. So I can't find the tweet. So I guess gonna have to just leave it at that. So 18 days to the next deadline, guys. You have to take my word for it, because I can't find the tweet. Lots. Oh, a lot. Abhijit says, I'm sad. I got a call and I forgot to do the transfers. I've got 4 players not playing. Gonna be a stinker. Oh, man. Bro, you're not gonna take calls. You should not take calls when you're on the deadline stream. Oh, so unfortunate, Abhijit. I feel bad for you, bro. I guess on the flip side, but you already had 2 free transfers, so I can't even say that now you get 2 free transfers next week, so I don't know what to say to make you feel better, bro. I really don't. I hope you do well, my friend. Let's. Neil says, I wanted to bring in Richarlison, but for my rank, I needed to bring in Saka for his ownership. Neil, I think Saka against Crystal Palace and Richarlison against United away, I think you still made the right decision anyways, so you did right. Todd says, thanks Wiz, not much drama though. You're welcome, Todd. I like no drama, bro. I like the Zen mode much more than the trumpets, but hopefully the trumpets are gonna be back anytime, back soon in in the crazy frenzy of game weeks that's gonna be coming later. Abhishek says, lots of hits this game week. Absolutely. I've seen -8s, -12s flying around like crazy. FPL Jack says, my gut says Taylor would start. Well, if he does start, I hope, I hope Luton can score, because because Taylor only scores points when he's on the bench. I guess you know, that's the nature of FPL. For example, Archer has always scored points on my bench and never when he's played for me. FPL Duck says, yeah, already answered that. Animation says, hey, where's when Tony captain? Man, that's insane. So guys, by the way, Ivan Toney is back for Brentford, and our friend Animations here has brought him in and captained Ivan Toney. Well, that's some move, Animations. I hope it pays off for you. I'd love for Tony to come back with a bang. Abhijit says, all good. This is the second time I missed the deadline. Well, I hope you do well anyway, Abhijit. I honestly, I hope so. FPL Jack says, I cut short my party for the deadline stream and rolled. Well, yeah, you know, that's insane. Well, you can go back to your party now, Jugs. By the way, we have a festival here in North India. It's called Lodi. Tomorrow, basically, it's a bonfire. Everybody lights bonfires. We sit around the fire for hours and hours, and we eat peanuts and Indian sweets, and it's a beautiful festival. Actually, it was supposed to mark the start of the decline of winters, but as the weather is changing, the circle of weather is shifting. So the festival is being celebrated on the same dates as it was celebrated previously, but now the winter is actually on the rise, and it is becoming colder and colder. But we're celebrating the festival, which kind of marks the decline of winters. So I guess this is where the old ways meet with the new. We're at the crossroads. You know, our generation has to navigate the crossroads. Anyways, guys, I guess it's time to end the deadline stream. Abhishek says, do you do FPL full time? Abhishek, I wish, but no, I don't. I just do deadline streams now. I used to publish a lot of videos, and I used to there was a time when I used to try to do FPL full time, but I have a job which doesn't allow me to do face cams, which is why I think it's just not possible to compete with the people who are actually who actually get lots of time and are able to do face cams as well. But no regrets. I've got a beautiful community. We do deadline streams and I absolutely enjoy them, so I continue on doing them always. Animation says, thanks, Wizard. You're welcome, my friend. I am skeptical about Saka captain. Well, we've got 2 weeks to be skeptical now. Saka plays after 2 weeks. Or Saka plays after 10 days, I guess. So let's see what happens. So Abhishek, thanks for the deadline stream. You're welcome, my friend. Zara says thank you. You're welcome, Zara. So guys, thank you so much for being on the stream. I really enjoyed today's stream. I hope you have a great game week, and I hope you plan for the future game weeks, because a lot of FPL content is going to be coming up, and a lot of congested fixtures are going to be coming up. So always plan for the future, guys. Yesterday's a mystery. Sorry, the past is a history. Tomorrow is a mystery. Today is a gift. So enjoy the present and plan for the future. Right, guys. Thank you so much. And may the hours be green. FPL Wizard signing out, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.